What?
Hey, is it? I don't know what's going on. It should be live. It said go
You
live.
gotta quit live.
I did.
You gotta learn how
Morning,
to quit.
everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success. What? Wait, what was that?
Live? We're live finally. Okay, we're live.
Wait a little. I don't know. It's 10 degrees here, so I think it took a little while for the electrons to move through the interwebs and get us connected. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fuel for Success. This is episode 238. Your hosts, Mike Hopkins and Matt Maddox, live this morning from Hastings, Minnesota, and St. Pete, Florida, from virtual studio in St. Pete, and of course Studio 11 up here in the cold, frozen tundra. Good morning, my friend, Mr. Maddox. How are you today?
And it is a good morning, my friend. Think about those words. Good morning. Why don't we all start having good mornings instead of negative, complaining, whiny? I mean, what's up with all the whining from people? Too many whiners out there.
Right.
Whining is a pet peeve for me. I'm not a fan of whiners. I feel like life is too short to whine, my friends. So, it's like I was at Whole Foods this morning. I was going through the line to get my wheatgrass, and I asked the lady how she was doing. She goes, "Well, not bad. I'd rather be in bed." And I'm like, "What? Rather be in bed? Like, what is this? You work at Whole Foods. This isn't McDonald's. Like, put out a little better energy than that, right? Rather be in bed? That's like being at Disney World, not being excited. Can you imagine somebody letting you on the ride? It's a small world, and then being like, "Enjoy the ride," right? They don't do that. They're like smiling, singing along, dancing along with It's a Small World, right? Anyways, Mike, today is Fuel for Success.
That's right.
This is a daily internet talk show. We don't play. We go every day, my friend. At least we try to, anyways. This is our
Right.
238th episode. This whole thing called Fuel for Success talk show that now is close to 300,000 views started by accident. That's right. 2 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Eve, my boy Mike and I just chatting it up, really just wishing each other Happy New Year. And then, bam, all of a sudden, like we do, here it comes. Like, I don't know, Mike, out of maybe 500 talks we've had, I don't know if we've ever been able to have a talk without vision, ideas, or, it just comes out of us, man. It oozes out of us, man.
That's right. Which is why we avoid late night. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, and today is Wednesday. I love Wednesdays. Today's Wednesday, and on this Wednesday, when we talk about things that are related to spirituality and God, and today we're going to talk actually a little bit about Mission25, some of the origins and some of the behind the scenes stuff about Mission25. So we're going to jump right into that, and I want to welcome everybody on the show that's live. If you have questions, go ahead and type them in the chat box. Shoot me a text, 727-341-5599, or email me, mike@mattmaddox.com, and we'll get to your questions ASAP. So,
Mike, where has Al been? Al has just gone missing in action. I haven't seen him on Fuel for Success in forever. Thinking maybe Carol might have went in your system and blocked him. Who knows? But Al, if you're out there, I'm sure all the ladies miss you, bro.
exactly. Hey, we're always thankful for our live viewers, and the live viewers add so much to the show. It's so fun to see the interaction, the engagement, and to get to know everyone. And friendships are made here. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. I'm loving what I love is that a lot of friendships made here. Really, people have gone on vacation because they've met at Fuel for Success. And we've got to meet a lot of great people in our travels, Mike. I'm loving what Tommy's saying. Maybe Carol found out where he lives. It's been a fun year. It's December, 3rd? And
Yes.
It's December 3rd? Wow. Okay. It's December 3rd, which means, what are we, 28 days from this year being over? So I can't wait to have our final Fuel for Success for 2014 and recap the year. Maybe we'll put out a funny video with all the... if there was a way to record our pre-show, that would be phenomenal.
That or the setup. That would be so awesome. When we're, especially when we're on the road.
We've done crazy, stupid stuff trying to get set up for our talk show. because we're committed to you, my friend. Anyways, Mike, we are going to talk about Mission 25 today. So let's roll. Tell me some of the questions that we have here, my friend. Live Q&A. Here we come behind the scenes. We're showing you everything.
Real quick, Pacey met her BFF on FFS.
Is that me, Pacey? Am I the BFF or is that Britain? I'm sure it's Britain. I know guy want no. Time out. I'm going to make myself clear. I'm not the BFF. You know, no guy wants to be a girl's BFF, right? It's just no. Fine, let Britain be your BFF.
It's good. It's a good thing. I wanted to point it out because I love 3-letter acronyms, or as I like to call them, TLAs. So let's get to our first question, which is, why did you guys start Mission 25? What the, or rephrase, what were you thinking?
Other than we're just flat out absolutely ridiculously nutso crazy psychos, we started Mission 25 for one reason: passion. We had passion to want to bring something to America that's not here, and that's real legit missions trips. And it was just started with an idea. Actually, the end of an era, my friend. The end of our 78 Soul Winners Boot Camp, I believe, or 98. I think it was 98. I can't remember. No, if it was 98, I would have pushed to at least go 2 more to hit 100. So I think it was 78.
I believe it was.
I just think we were like, we need more action, and we need to go back to Matthew 25. We were doing a good job with block parties, but there wasn't really a lot of serving going on at these block parties. We're doing a great job with the prayer marches, and the prayer marches had its place. But, we felt like we needed to bring to America an opportunity for families to experience what it would have been like to live in the days of Jesus, and also to experience a real legit missions trip without having to go to the Philippines or Africa or a third world country, or without having to spend $2,000 to $3,000, which is about the average cost of a missions trip. So that's why we started it. Mike, what about you? I know you feel the same way.
Yeah, I was really challenged really to take serving to the next level and inspire people. I felt like, when we talked about it, one of the things that we saw that was happening even in church culture was that people weren't even aware of the opportunities to serve that were all around them. And really the impact that Matthew 25 and James 1:27 can have in their lives as a Christian. And that was really kind of, for me, the genesis of the whole thing. Like, people are sort of missing a big piece of Christianity, and we wanted to be able to show that to people, to bring it out and allow people to experience that so that it could become part of their lifestyle. So that, to me, was one of my primary motivations. Hey, so one of the things, and I remember the discussion, we had several discussions trying to figure out format and and that sort of thing. We ended up settling on, for 2014, and continuing on into next year, one mission trip a month. Can you share with our viewers a little bit about the thought process behind that, why we decided to do one a month? Really, what were we thinking?
Yeah, really, honestly, looking back, okay, and I love what Matthew Barnett said yesterday, which he was off the charts. He was just awesome about living dangerously, and I believe that. I do believe that you should, your faith is never going to grow if you do what's easy. Your faith is never going to, why do you need God if all you're going to do is change the light bulbs in your house, mow your grass, do your dishes, and get the oil changed every 3,000 miles? Come on! Who needs God for that, right? Sometimes you got to live your life in a way that it requires for you to have to turn to God or rely on God. So a lot of it is, in the cause, man, the need. In fact, no joke, we actually contemplated doing 2 a month. We literally had major discussions about doing a missions trip every other week because and that's not out of the question in the future. It's not. There could come a day where we're doing a missions trip every other weekend across America. And I'm not even joking. The need, the cause, the burden, and, and then just the fact that, it would be easier on us. No joke. In fact, we talked about it yesterday. Mike and I were just talking. I said, bro, there's a part of me that wants to take a year off of Mission 25 just to regroup and, because we have so much going on that even to travel once a month and deal with all the details of Mission 25, it's a lot. It's a lot. It really could turn into a full-time job. Like literally could put 40 hours a week into it every week and still not even touch all the details. So the 1 a month thing was just kind of, we wanted to just go big or go home, do it. If you're going to do it and you're going to need God and you're going to ask God's assistance, don't insult God by doing small. Don't insult God by playing it safe. So for us, it was just kind of like, that's our nature. Like, we couldn't have it any other way. Even when we talk about, yesterday we laughed so hard because Mike and I were on FaceTime with each other and we're like, and I know we're just both tired. It's been a long year and it is a lot of work. I'm not saying that for you to, we're not sucking our thumb here by telling you that, but it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. I mean, it's a lot of details and, we've had a tag in almost every day for the last week and just intense details and decision making and, making sure it's all right and this, that, and the other. Mike and I yesterday on FaceTime were like, man, maybe we ought to just do like 1 a quarter, like even 2 a year, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like, it's like David, okay? I know I'm not supposed to be doing this, but is there not a cause? Like, unfortunately, not too many people are stepping up and doing stuff like this across America as a lifestyle. And so we feel the need, the cause, all of that. It causes us, the passion within us, Mike, I think is what causes us to do 1 a month. I think at the end of the day, it's the passion. It's the burden. It's the heart.
Exactly. And there's a power in doing things consistently. And I don't know if you've ever tried to do anything like every other week. Or like every other month, or when you like skip and you don't do things like consistently based on a calendar, it's sort of incongruous. It doesn't flow well. And so there's something about consistently, like whether you do something every day, every week, or every month, in every set time period that we live our lives by, it becomes more of a natural rhythm. And the other thing, of course, is the big mo, right? Momentum. And it's easier to build momentum when you're consistent doing the same thing every month. So that's, another reason why we decided to do monthly. It was funny yesterday, and of course it was right after, and if you didn't see episode 237 with Matthew Barnett, you need to go back and watch the archive as well. So the timing of our conversation was pretty funny, and that's when we started laughing. We're like, are you kidding me? We just got done with this interview with Matthew Barnett, who totally inspired us. We're like, nah, if anything, we'll step it up to 2 a month. So
yeah, well, and then we were also like, man, maybe we ought to take a year off and Fuel for Success as well. Like, Mike and I are in mode, like, you got to understand, this was a funny talk because we were actually serious, and then a moment like hit where we were like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on up there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for a moment the flesh was talking, like, oh, I'm exhausted, and I got to pack and leave tomorrow.
You know what's funny is we sat there on FaceTime and just stared for like 2 minutes. There was a pause. There was no talk. I think we were just like, there literally was no talk. We just kind of sat there and, and then all of a sudden we were like, okay,
This is Fuel for Success Transparency episode take 2. Okay, so which is good. Hey, we're real, right? That's one thing when you're coming to Fuel for Success.
People got to know, they got to know the whole story, because people don't think that people that do world-changing stuff have human emotions, or, that they don't ever have moments where it's not that you're quitting, it's just that, like, you know what? At the end of the day, you can only do so much. And, but yeah, you know what? It's like, if God trusts you, then baby, you better go with it. So that's what I tweeted yesterday. I think I tweeted it. Said, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. You got to be able to handle pressure if you're gonna have success in life. Anyway, so let's talk more about Mission 25, sure. Mike. Tell some of the other questions.
Hey, here's a great question, and you and I have started some discussions about this. But what are 3 things you want to see different next year? We're this is our 12th mission trip this year. We're going into December. This weekend we'll be in New York City doing our 12th mission trip, the last one of 2014, launching into 2015. What are 3 things you want to see different next year?
Well, I'd like to see more people in our network, and I'm calling you out because I asked you at the beginning of the year. We had 12 mission trips. We do not charge. We've had people literally move into one efficiencies, leave houses and move into efficiencies to go. We've had people that took another job just so they could pay their plane ticket to go to Mission25. We've had people sleep in their car, literally sleep in their car. Probably 5 volunteers this year slept in their car just so they could come, and that's no joke. I know a father and his son that slept in their vans so they could go to the Washington, D.C. Mission 25. They don't have a lot of money. So, yeah, I'm ripping on all of you slackers and excuse makers that didn't make a missions trip this year. I'm going to forgive you because I believe in that. I'm going to smile at you, but I'm holding your feet to the fire. I'm still a little bit upset in a nice way. I'm a little bit upset that there's people in our network that still haven't come to a Mission 25. I really am. So that's one thing I want to see different is some of you to get more into make it happen mode. I'm not good with excuses. I'm really not. I'm not okay with excuses. I just would rather not hear it. In fact, I'd rather you not say, when an email says, I really wanted to come, but I'm like, you know what? Don't even say it. You know what I'm saying? Just show up. Be there. Get to the next one. And I mean that nice. I understand there's real reasons why some people can't come to Mission 25, but it's for your own good, my friend. It will so revolutionize your life and change you and impact you. So that would be one thing. I really have got friends that I'm shocked that didn't come to a Mission 25. And we've got supporters that I'm shocked that didn't come. I've got people that lived 5 minutes from where we were serving that did not come, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they didn't come. And again, should you be feeling guilty right now? Yes, you should. Those that lived 5 minutes from where we were serving, unless you were in the emergency room, unless you had your kid's birthday party or your mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary party, there's really no excuse for you not to come. Mike, we went to cities where we've got people that literally believe in what we do that just didn't come, and there were really no excuses for it at all. So yes, you're getting called out right here on Fuel for Success. I still love you. I hope you still love me. But remember, my job is to comfort the afflicted and to afflict the comforted. That's so right. Yes, you need to be there, my friends, and come and serve. Not for our benefit, because it's not for our benefit. Mike and I gain nothing except just pure joy out of serving and seeing people's lives changed. So that's number 1. Number 2, the second thing I want to see changed is I want to see more radical. I feel like we've done radical, but I still feel like we can step it up 100 notches of intensity and radicalness. I'm seeing a couple of our missions trips going all night long. I'm seeing no sleep. I'm seeing literally like start at 8, finish at 8. Go 24 straight, 12, what is it? 12, what would that be? 12 hours? No, it'd be 24 hours.
24, yeah.
I'm seeing a little more intensity out of our mission trips, more spontaneous mission, more literally doing things in the community that require faith, that require sweat, exhaustion, work. The third thing I want to see different next year is I want to see us as a team being able to have a little more of the details out earlier as far as where we're staying. Look, there's been many mission trips. You want some behind the scenes stuff? We've been like 2 days before a mission trip and not knowing where we're staying or having the Friday night rally. And it's not because we're slackers. It's because when you're working on a low budget, you got to call 100+ hotels to see who maybe will let you have a conference room for free, because we've been in places where they charge us $1,500 just to use their room on Friday night. So, that would be what I would say. Mike, there's probably 10 things I could share, but you asked for 3. I'm going to honor you, my friend, and give you 3. What about you?
Well, I don't know if I could come up with 3. Well, you took a couple of mine, but one of them, I think that from sort of an organizational standpoint, and this is probably me talking to me more than anything, is just I want us to be better at telling the story and telling the stories that it's because it's so incredibly compelling to be there live, and it's so incredibly hard to take that experience and somehow tell someone that wasn't there. And we need to do a better job with video, with storytelling, with even with pictures and things of that nature, to try and get the story out there, because it's so much more powerful than even we can relate as we, sometimes we do a recap. We'll do at a Fuel for Success, we'll talk about, hey, we just had Mission 25, and we'll recap some of the stories, and it's powerful and it's engaging, but it's not even close to what it's like actually being there. And so the challenge is finding a way to really bring that story to the people who weren't there, to be able to, let people know, and that's a difficult thing. So that's my number one thing, and probably the other thing that I think about is really the intensity that you talked about, and the radicalness. And I believe it or not, if you've been to a Mission 25, this is probably going to shock you. I think I want to move to a slightly more dynamic, more chaotic, less structured, less planned sort of an event. And to me, that opens tons of opportunity for people to be creative and really get them out of their comfort zone. And Matt and I, we challenge ourselves all the time to get out of our comfort zone, so much that I'm not even sure that either of us could define a comfort zone. But that's kind of, those are a couple of things that I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's actually good stuff, Mike, and I agree. Just want to throw out a memory. I don't know if this is one of our questions. Behind the scenes, Friday night, Seattle. Seattle, baby. Seattle. Friday night, Mike and I are standing. What hotel did we stay at? What was that?
I don't remember.
Crown Plaza? I don't even remember the name. They all run together.
Was it Ramada?
Anyway, we were standing outside. We were standing outside the meeting room, and I knew it was going to be a lower attended Mission 25, which I'm not sure, because in times past, Seattle's been big, but whatever. That's the way I guess God designed it, and you got to roll with it. But we were standing outside of the hotel, and I remember telling Mike to peek. I said, we were literally about to start. I said, hey, peek and see what the crowd is. He comes back out to the parking lot right as before the entrance, and he's smiling real big. And I knew by his smile it wasn't good. He said, man, yeah, we got about 9 people in there right now. This thing's literally about to start in a minute. I said, 9? You mean 90? 9? He said, 9. There's 9 people. We pulled off the Seattle Mission 25 with 12 volunteers. We literally were like Jesus. We had 12. And pulled it off. I mean, that was a fun missions trip. It really was. You want to talk about, I don't want to say stress, but yeah, I mean, Mike and I took a fatherless kid to buy new shoes. How many different shoe stores did we go to find the pair of shoes he wanted?
Oh, wow. 8, maybe?
8 at least. No joke. I mean, we went to like 3 malls. We went to like another 4 different shoe stores all downtown Seattle. And he was such a broken kid. His dad had beat him, and they were in a woman's shelter, a battered woman's shelter. And, he was such a humble kid. He had gone through violence with his dad and watched his mom get beat, and they were running for their lives, and they were scared. And our heart just broke for him. And you could tell he really wanted this pair of shoes, but they didn't have his size. We went to 7 other shoe stores until we I know that we walked at least an hour and a half. At least. We kept telling him, Jaime, that was his name. Jaime, we're going to find your shoes, but I don't care if we got to drive to another city. We're going to find your shoes. And it was at the final place, can't remember the name of the store. It might have been Macy's.
It was Macy's,
and,
yeah.
And anyways, the look on his face when we finally found his shoes and they had his size, dude, that was awesome. Hey, Marcella, you were awesome in Seattle. You and your daughter, I tell you what. There's so many of our volunteers I want to just fit in our suitcases and say, okay, let's go. Mike and I have actually sat down and come up with like a Mission 25 dream team. that we said, okay, if we could only pick 12 people of all the volunteers that have ever come, just having fun. We do that. We have fun chats like that. Anyways, Mike, so what's another question for us?
Biggest challenge so far in 2014?
Wow. Probably the biggest challenge in 2014 is just, I don't know, New York is getting pretty close to the biggest challenge, in my opinion.
I was thinking the same thing.
They've all had their own challenges, but I'm thinking New York has trumped them all. Speaking of Trump, we could use Donald Trump's help right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you ready for this? You try to logistically figure out how to distribute 1,000 stockings to homeless children and teenagers in New York with a major transportation issue in the city. And not only that, somebody has been gracious. Mike, New York is miraculously, though, and I'm seeing miracles take place. Tell about your friend, dude. I tweeted this last night, and I know it's out on Facebook, but it's your friend that this happened to. Tell about it.
Well, he actually, my friend Keith Still, who's down in Augusta, Georgia, drop shipped 100 winter jackets, like flight jackets, to our hotel in New Jersey, but in the New York area for us to go distribute to the homeless. And he just felt, he's a great guy. He actually, he started an organization called Hunting for the Cure. He takes cancer kids and their families out and goes deer hunting and duck hunting and that sort of thing. So he's a great guy. We'll actually give him a shout out. I'll put his link up a little bit here. But he drop shipped those, and we thought he had initially said he had like some misprints or something that he was gonna like send to us, and he just out of the blue 100 brand new jackets drop shipped right in. So, but here again, challenge is like we have 210 pounds of jackets. We have to somehow get on a train and subways and distribute to 100 homeless people. So.
Train. The missions trip is in New York. We're staying in New Jersey to save money because the hotels in New York are so expensive. We didn't want to put that on our volunteers, so we're staying, in New Jersey, which is a good. I think the train ride, Mike. We got to ride a train, jump on subways, pack into taxi cabs. I mean, this is gonna be. It's game on, my friend. And you want a missions trip experience, get to New York City, because it's game on. And, Mike, it's amazing. In fact, somebody wrote me on Facebook this week. She's from North Carolina, and she said, hey, I'm coming to Mission25 New York. She said, by faith. She goes, I'm taking a train, and then I'm riding the bus into the city. And she said, I've got budgeted like $12 a day. And I was like, you know what? This is awesome. God will provide for her, man. I've learned that if you step out by faith, God will back you up. So, it's happened every time. It really has.
It's good. And step out by faith. That's sort of our theme for this year, I think. Hey, so here's another question. We're almost out of time, but this is a great question. And we work with some great people, volunteers, and of course my wife that take care of so many details. But what does it take to plan a mission trip, right? And what are some details that most people wouldn't even consider?
Carol would be really good at this because Carol is a maniac, and I mean maniac in the good maniac sense.
Right.
Just Tasmanian devil, get it done. Dawn and Renee, those three people, have just behind the scenes just blown it up and done it. I mean, so they would be good to interview this question as far as the details one wouldn't consider. I would say probably the number one thing most people wouldn't consider is how hard it is to get in these shelters. It's a challenge. It really is a challenge. That would be one. And then two, the logistics of organizing mission stuff to where it can be hands-on for all of your volunteers. When you're talking about 100 volunteers, the details of organizing to make sure that all of them get an amazing experience hands-on can be quite challenging there. So, there's many, Mike. There's hundreds, literally. But those are probably would be some details most people wouldn't even consider that, are whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. And sometimes if you've been to Mission 25 and maybe you, when you showed up and maybe you brought some things that you knew, ahead of time, you'd been in contact with Carol or someone else and you knew that, you needed to bring 100 socks or whatever, and you come in and we get in that conference room and we've got tables with all this stuff set up there, right? That stuff didn't just appear, right? That's like hours and hours and hours of work to organize and ship and bring it in and have people, coordinate with people and all that different coordination. So there's so many details that go into it. It's crazy. It's intense. Let me put it that way.
Crazy and it's fun. And you know what? I do want to give a few shout outs, and I dare not try to name a bunch of names because I would forget. But Pacey's on the show. Pacey's been a Pacey and Stacy, the Aces. Stacy Bishop, Pacey. They're both just behind the scenes. I mean, even Stacy this last month has just behind the scenes done a lot of amazing detail work for Mission 25, and people like that volunteer. And by the way, okay, you know what the number one thing? Okay, you know how we said there's a couple things we want to change. There's two things Mike and I want to change the most. Is we really want to finally. And thank you for your patience. We really want to get our volunteer army mobilized and organized. Yes. And then number two is our partners. To be honest with you, as great as Mission 25 is, it's still lacking in monthly partners. And I know that there's over 1,000 people right now in our network that would partner $25 for Mission 25 a month. And it's not much. You think about what you spend $25 a month on. To help a missions movement that's doing one of these a month in major cities for free at no charge registration. If I'm a human being, I want to support that. I want to partner with that. And I think, Mike, next level for Mission 25 is really, really getting our partnership organized and really, because that's just the only way that's the way God's designed for it to function.
Right. And
I believe there's going to come a day when we don't have to worry about finances. I feel like the partnership is going to answer that for us. And we've known that. Thank you so much, Marcella. Thank you. Yeah, 25 or more. And there's people that do partner, there really is, but nowhere near as much as what y'all would think. I don't think there's even more than 25 people a month that partner with Mission 25. And that's alarming. That's sad. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's partially our fault. It's also just shocking that we literally, Mike and I, know 40, 50,000 plus people. And I know 1,000 people that if I called them and said, look, man, I need you to partner with our missions movement, they would do it. So to get 1,000 people to partner with Mission 25 would change the game forever.
It's true. It's true. That is top on the list now that you mention it. And part of that is getting the story out and making those connections. So we're definitely going to organize the volunteer army in 2015, and probably some folks, if you're watching and you've signed up to be a volunteer and we haven't, really been able to engage you to do volunteer work yet, like behind the scenes, it's going to change, and we're going to get to that. So we appreciate your patience.
What's wrong with us, Mike? We are professional slackers, my friend. Get us a plaque. Yeah. You ready for this? Don't get us a plaque for doing a good job. Give us a plaque and say, Mathematics Mike Hopkins, non-producer of the year. That's what needs to hang right here in my office.
Exactly.
Awesome. Hey, we love you guys. Great show. Thank you so much. Tomorrow will be a little challenging because Mike and I will be en route in New York. Mike's actually heading there today. I'll be there flying out in the morning, so there'll be no 9:30 show. We're not even sure what time the show will be tomorrow, so just be on the lookout for a link. It might be at midnight tomorrow night. You never know, my friend. You never know with us. So at some point we will, okay, Pacey, we'll make that happen. At some point we will get together and do a talk show tomorrow. Okay, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Hey, and by the way, to all of you that have given to Mission 25, thank you. To all of you that do partner with Mission 25, thank you. To all of you that pray for Mission 25, thank you.
Amen.
To all of you that have attended a Mission 25, because I know you've sacrificed to do so, thank you. To all of you that have not given to Mission 25 and you've not supported Mission 25 and you've not attended Mission 25, you don't deserve to celebrate Christmas, my friend. Not this year. You don't deserve a Christmas tree. You don't deserve to watch Christmas movies. You don't deserve a stocking. And you don't deserve Christmas presents. That's right. It's an off year for you. You step it up next year, then you can have all the Christmas stuff. All right? We love you guys. We believe in you. And we'll see y'all tomorrow at some point for Fuel for Success. And don't forget, you can watch any of our previous episodes at fuelforsuccess.tv. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and also to Spreecast. And go to iTunes and you can download any of our episodes on your iPod or your iPhone or your iPad or your whatever. We love you guys. God bless you.
See y'all later. God bless.